There are doves. Motherfucking John Woo doves. Stranglehold is a third-person shooter developed for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Windows, releasing in 2007. I had never heard about this game, but luckily one of my subscribers recommended it, and as a huge fan of John Woo's films like Face Off and Hardboiled, I was interested to see what Midway Studios and Woo himself could do with the video game medium, and holy moly, is this game fun.
You should have took a vacation.
I hear Chicago is nice this time of year.
You won't live long enough to get there.
Stranglehold has all of the underpinnings of a mid-2000s action game, trailers for other games in the menu, a multiplayer option that doesn't work anymore, and gameplay that was meant for enjoyment rather than, realism. Then there are the behind-the-scenes details that add on to the mystique of the game. Most importantly, that this is a true sequel to Hardboiled, Woo's 1992 action epic, which if you haven't seen before, I highly recommend it. Chow Yun-fat reprises his role as Inspector Tequila, which kinda blew me away. It wasn't just his cheeky deliveries or one-liners, but the mocap they used was exceptional, and I truly felt like he was in the game. Another aspect of the game that I didn't expect was the physics engine being so visceral. Bodies fly from your bullets hitting them, bodies fly from blowing up explosive barrels. The environment had so much to offer in terms of gameplay and aesthetics, I couldn't believe this was made in 2007. What, are we playing Half-Life 2? The gun sounds are satisfying, the plot is just enough, and the gameplay was so much fun that even though the game is pretty short, I still wanted to cover it for the channel. We'll cover the visual landscape, auditory soundscape, narrative, and of course, the insane gameplay to get a better picture of what Stranglehold accomplished 18 years ago. I also want to note that I might show more of the cutscenes than I usually do. This is because this game is cinematic. It's like a movie. I don't think I could do the game justice by talking over some of the cutscenes, and you'll see why. With that out of the way, let's get started. Before you even get to the main menu, the game sets up with a short intro scene showing a kidnapping in Chicago and a murder of a police officer in Hong Kong. I love that the cinematic direction this game has plays directly into the style of Woo, and even the gameplay mechanics pay homage to his film work. The next scene has Tequila, his captain, and some other detectives overhearing a message about the cop that was just shot. Now, if you haven't watched Hardboiled, all you need to know about Tequila as a character is that he is John Wick mixed with Neo, and doesn't take orders.
I'm not sending in one man. I'm sending in a whole SWAT team.
No, you are not.
You're not giving orders either, Tequila.
We got a missing cop, and only one lead. You stand in the SWAT. The lead dies or disappears.
One guy'd be crazy to go in there.
You used to be that crazy guy, Jerry. What happened? If I was that missing cop, I hope one of us would want to go. Don't send anyone, Captain. They just get in my way.
There are so many awesome and funny one-liners in this game that it was hard not to just play each cutscene. Heading into the first level, I was impressed by what they managed to do with the Unreal 3 engine on so many levels. But before I can even talk about that, the player is thrust into a shootout and welcome to Stranglehold. This game is constant action, and luckily that's great since the shooting mechanics and skills make every fight engaging. The player has something called Tequila Time, which is the game's version of slow-mo. You can recharge this by pulling off combos like sliding down a railing, taking out gangsters, or other acrobatic moves that look purely badass. Tequila is the destroyer of worlds and is an unstoppable force. At first, the only ability you have is to heal with the Tequila Bomb energy, but later in the game you'll unlock Precision Firing, Rampage Mode, and truly one of my favorite abilities in any game, the Dove Summoner. More on that later. For now, Tequila obliterates his foes with a vengeance, and also AC units. You'll see throughout the game that the environment can play a key role in how you go about taking down enemies, and as I mentioned before, the physics engine shines. I was blown away by how the bodies reacted to object hit detection, whether it was the AC unit, rocks precariously placed in later levels, or barrels that would send people 10 feet high. You really felt like you could affect the environment. Tequila finds the White Rabbit, is that a Matrix reference? And discovers a photo of the dead cop and his badge. They're making him angry. Don't make him angry. Another shootout commences, which will not be the last time I transition with that line, and we get access to our first new gun, the shotgun. There aren't a lot of weapons in the game. I think I read they cut out an AK and another SMG, but the ones we do have slap, especially with Tequila time. We're also introduced to another mechanic, the standoff, which was my least favorite thing in the game. Even though the concept is cool and the visuals are appealing, by the end of the game you'll get bored of them. Or at least I thought it cut into the fast pacing of the gunplay. Our next mechanic unlock is the precision aiming, and even though I didn't really use it that often, I still enjoyed what the developers pulled off. It reminded me a lot of Sniper Elite when you could see the bullet's trajectory. That was really cool too. Did you notice that the character falls backwards into the sign and then it slaps both enemies? That's awesome physics. Tequila goes through more henchmen, defies orders, chases after someone that looks like they know about the murdered cop, and ends up in a bar where we get our next cutscene. John Woo places himself in his movies, and the game is no different. That's him as the barman. Tequila orders his signature drink, a heavy pour of tequila and Schweppes, and does the thing. There is some deal going down between rival gangs, and it goes as well as deals go in Woo films. It's just glorious.
You got the passports?
Too light. You're short.
Wong agreed to the amount. Now, do you have the passports or not?
I don't give a damn what Wong agreed to. This is an I-9 deal.
Be cool. We got heat at the bar.
You brought a cop to our deal?
There is a cover system that was pretty useful, especially in this fight scene. Even though the damage was more visual than tangible, meaning you would see tiles getting blown up, but the structure usually never fell, it still added the sense of realism, and I don't think many games from this era accomplished that. I do want to address during the carnage an elephant in the room, that being the similarity to the Max Payne series. Even though the gameplay is almost identical, Max Payne took influence from Hardboiled, so in my mind I think it's okay that both used each other to influence the final products of their games. We get our first boss fight, and honestly I think it's just the times that the game was made in. The bosses don't do anything to elevate the gameplay or have unique mechanics apart from maybe one level design later in the game, which was kind of interesting. I found them more to be bullet sponges than any real challenge. Tequila takes everyone down but has to answer to the captain. Oh wait, he's a Maverick.
The I-9s are the Dragon Claw's muscle. Wong's got the I-9s hitting cops and dealing passports to Golden Cane. Except the deal went bad.
Someone's trying to start a war.
We better stop him. I'm heading down to Dio. I'm gonna shake some cages and see what falls out.
Like hell you will. Tayo's not your turf and you know it. That's an ongoing narcotics probe. We have it under control.
Drug gangs, turf wars, and a dead cop. And you call that under control?
Watch your step, Tequila. You go out of bounds, you'll lose your badge.
Another small yet amazing part of the game is the end of level stats that made me laugh out loud the first time I saw it pop up. Not only do you get how many enemies you killed, but you get to see the monetary damages you've caused. Tequila destroys almost everything in his path, so seeing the amount we owed the state of Hong Kong and Chicago at the end, yes, they tally it all up, was a sight to behold. Put in your guesses now. Tequila wants to investigate the drug trade that the gangs are perpetrating and find out more about the murdered cop. So without any backup or an okay from his superiors, he goes and does it.
Imperial Nines come to collect today, and Mr. Wong's boat. It came this morning, but the Golden Cane are trying to take control of this place. Ah!
We're introduced to another enemy type, the sniper, and these guys can actually take you down if you're not careful. Luckily, they have a nice laser pointer that makes it easy to identify where they are and off to the next shootout. The dock level allows you to utilize the environment a bit more than the market. You'll have an easily spottable illuminated white line that shows you where Tequila can traverse, and there's nothing quite like ziplining in slow-mo shooting an SMG with one hand. We get our third mechanic unlock, the barrage, and this one was pretty awesome as well. You might have noticed that Tequila doesn't reload his weapons, and that's okay. Barrage makes you not reload your weapons even more. You pretty much go into a rampage mode with unlimited ammo, which is very satisfying and useful. It plays into the fun aspect of this game. You get a short little direction and then go absolutely hog wild on anyone stupid enough to be in front of you. Tequila destroys drug labs around the fishing village, and even though doing that like 3 times did get a bit repetitive, I was having so much fun with the gameplay that I didn't really mind. We go through more enemies and then this ship just crashes into the village. Why? I have no idea, but it looked cool. On our way to board the boat, I was hyped up from the music. The game has a good soundtrack, and there is even a moment later in the game that I'll discuss that blends the gameplay with the music, which was fantastic. Apart from the murdered cop, there seems to be a gang coup going on, and Tequila is trying to get in the middle of it, but the boss man isn't happy with us.
Tequila, half of Stilt City's in ruins and the rest of it's on fire. What the hell are you doing?
My job.
I want you out of there now. I'm sending a chopper. Stay put.
I've got orders to bring you back.
I know, but we have other orders too. Like to protect and serve.
Tequila!
5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. It's not over down there.
I guess I can give you 5.
I don't think this will help our standing with him either. The next portion on the helicopter and using the mounted machine gun brought me back to the good old days of arcade gaming, like the Jurassic Park game or House of the Dead. You could use Tequila time here, which made for some awesome visuals, especially with the background landscape. Tequila takes out what seems to be a battalion of henchmen and then gets a call from who I think is an informant in one of the gangs saying we should blow up the ships with weapon caches and drugs, so Tequila does. It's not Shakespeare, but it's close. We somehow get one of the locals to sail us to this yacht parked out on the bay where we find our mole who's working for Mr. Wong, one of the gang leaders, and offers us a chance to speak with him.
Mr. Wong wants to talk to you.
Then let's go see him.
Mr. Wong explains to Tequila that the rival gang has started doing business with a Russian counterpart in Chicago, trying to take over Mr. Wong's enterprises here in Hong Kong. Tequila interjects saying that Wong has enough manpower to take them both out, but there is a catch. Remember the kidnapping at the beginning? Well, that was Wong's daughter and grandchild. Tequila seems to know the daughter and even references that she named her child after him, so there is some nuance in the story.
I just want to live the lives we should have had.
There, Mr. Wong. Proof of life. Your daughter and granddaughter.
Turn it off.
Let me now describe what will happen if...
So Billy named her Tico.
After you. Zakharov took him from the house in Chicago 2 weeks ago.
Wong asked Tequila to go to Chicago to rescue the pair, since if he sent his goons, they would alert the FBI or something, and Tequila would be clean, which makes sense.
And someone who cares enough about the outcome to die getting it done. It's gotta be you.
You are the one who took him away from me. I never even held Tico in my arms. And I haven't heard from Billy since. 18 years. Not a phone call, not a postcard.
I told her not to. She was afraid of me then. By the time we made up, she was afraid you wouldn't forgive her.
Know how many times I thought of killing you?
Probably lots.
And you've got the guts to ask me to bring them back for you? How do you live with yourself?
I'm used to me. Don't. I'll take that as a yes.
But before we get more on that backstory, we have to blow up another ship filled with heroin, and I guess it's a win-win, both Tequila getting drugs off the streets and for the Dragon Claw to cripple their rivals. We get our Half-Life 2 physics puzzle and blast through more enemies with ease, planting C4 along the way. Our supervisor shows up all pissed off, but Tequila has a bone to pick with him, since if Jerry was undercover, that means he knew about the kidnapping and didn't tell Tequila, which we'll understand more of that backstory in just a second.
I was doing you a favor. I knew if you got involved, things might just...
What? And like this? Keep it. I'll be further out of bounds before this is finished.
Oh my god, Tequila is a Maverick. We get a flashback to Billy and Tequila meeting in secret. She tells him she's pregnant, but is also horrified what her father would do if he found out about their secret love affair. Tequila is super chill about dating a syndicate's daughter and devises a plan to leave for America that night. Back to present day, the gangs are meeting in some casino on the water to discuss the cop's murder and the heavy police activity surrounding it, and of course, Tequila wants in. Jerry gives us these guitar cases that we can plant within the level, and I thought that was a neat mechanic. They'll add ammo and heal you up if you need it. The interior environment was really well done here. There are a lot of detailed textures for the time that made these levels feel unique. We also get introduced to our final Tequila power, and by far the best one in my opinion, the spin attack, or as I dubbed it, the Dove Summoner. The spin attack literally kills everyone in the room once you start it, and not only that, but it has an impressive direction cut that shows each enemy being hit. I thought this was genius not only on the visual level, but a game engine wise too. The game itself has to quick cut to all of these enemies being shot, but it's not pre-rendered or anything. The game is truly jump cutting to each character on screen, which was impressive. The meeting is taking place on the 3rd floor, and there are enough henchmen to fill a stadium blocking the way. I also laughed out loud in a good way when some of the goons enter on speedboats. They just don't make games like this anymore.
The I-9s are charging in from the water. I'll do what I can out here.
After the first floor is complete, we get a cutscene with the Russian mobster talking to the rival gang about the deal they made.
If we make this deal, we do things my way.
I thought our deal was set.
Then you thought wrong. Nothing's set till I see Chicago. Check out your operation and get the girls in my hands.
You'll get the girls. You gonna take this crap? My operation is everything I have promised, Mr. Young. And my standing in the community is excellent.
Yeah, I got your clipping. And I promise to be properly impressed. As soon as you explain to me how kissing high society ass helps me move more H.
I'll be right there. We got unexpected guests.
See you in Chicago.
Goodbye, youngie.
Is there no one who can kill this cop for me?
Don't worry, boss. He's dead already. You just don't know it.
I do want to note here that most of the voice actors are American or British, which caught me a bit off guard at first. I think I read that it was Wu's directive, so at least we don't have moments like the Trade Confederation and Phantom Menace. The goons have been alerted to our presence, but nothing is stopping Tequila from getting info on his long-lost lover and child. Another great environment with more fun shooting. We kill another 100 henchmen and make it to the 3rd level, which has an awesome detail worth noting. Our objective is to protect the musicians playing, and if you've watched Hardboiled, you know Tequila is an avid lover of jazz. The neat detail is that it's a trio playing. Unfortunately, the sax player was struck, but the music kept going, without the saxophone. Even though it was a small detail, it really struck me because someone had to implement this into the game. With the musicians somewhat protected, Tequila makes his way to the meeting room and encounters our next boss, who is also a bullet sponge.
You should have took a vacation.
I hear Chicago is nice this time of year.
You won't live long enough to get there.
I did enjoy the boss arena, it makes you utilize cover, but there wasn't really anything else to write home about. The gang sets charges and Tequila has to double time it out of there.
Where are we going?
Chicago! And we are running late!
How late?
I frickin' love this game. We get our next flashback to the night where Tequila and Billy were set to depart for America, and I honestly liked the backstory. It made Tequila's motivations a bit more reasonable, even if we caused $31 million of damage last level. Yeah, sorry.
She ain't coming.
If you laid a hand on her...
Don't be dumb. She's gone, that's all. And she ain't coming back. She has a message for you. I promised her I'd deliver it. I got a message for you, too.
Again, the cinematic quality of this game is top-notch. Next stop is Chicago, where we see the gang leader fuming about his plans not working out and the Russian dude being cheeky.
I heard you're getting short on Hong Kong staff tonight.
Just downsizing. I like a lean operation. You ready to hold up your end?
I told you I would. But if you touch one hair on my Tico's head...
Don't threaten me. Here's how it's gonna go down.
Don't be in a rush. You got to see my museum. It adds a note of class to my business.
I didn't fly here to see a freaking museum. I came here to see one thing.
My operation. It's part of it.
Duh. I see them.
Tequila and Jerry make it to the apartment building, but something seems off about Jerry, even if he is in deep cover. Even though we're in America now, that does not stop Tequila's rampage, and we go through so many Russian mobsters that at this point, the violence is just lost on me. Tequila makes it to the penthouse, and I really have to give more credit to the interior designers here. The layout might not pass a building inspection, but it made for some fun gameplay. Also, we get the machine gun that rips through everyone. Unfortunately, the game has some destructible objects which were hard to discern. The glass was easier to see, especially with the mobsters on the other side, but there were these chairs that I didn't know you could shoot and had me running around the level thinking I had glitched something. This level also introduces tripwire mines. I did like the small variety and having to think where I stepped, especially for the next boss fight, but they weirdly don't come back in the later levels. We get a pretty cool sequence with the attack helicopter, kill more Russian gangsters, and get to our next boss fight.
You call that hell?
It is just warming up.
The Vlad fight was pretty fun, having to dodge the tripwires, which added a slight puzzle element to the environment. Oh, I frickin' love this game. Vlad somehow jumps on another helicopter, Tequila barrages it down, and we get an epic explosion. Tequila finds Jerry wounded, but he did find some invitations to a museum party hosted by the Russian gang leader, and we have our next lead to find Billy and the kid.
That cop is here because of you. My brother's blood is on your hands.
Everyone has a destiny, Damon. Even you and I. Your brother found his. Now move on. Let's get these girls back to Hong Kong and finish this deal.
Take the young one back and keep her safe. If you can handle that, I'll bring Billy back with me.
Like hell you will.
We do this my way or it all ends right here. Right here. Your call.
Suit yourself.
Party's over. Time to go.
Tequila.
I apologize if I'm showing too much of the cutscenes, but as I said before, I don't think I could do the game justice by narrating over most of it. Showcasing the direction is the best case for this game because you feel like you're in a Wu film. Fighting through the museum was an awesome spectacle. As a kid, I would go to the Field Museum with my grandparents, and even though they probably couldn't use the exact museum, it still evoked something for me. Also, you can see one of the exhibits is the Terracotta Warriors, and my first thought was monetary damages might be infinite if we somehow destroy the statues. You could also destroy the dinosaur bones, which was a funny touch. They really made a lot of the environment destructible. At this point, the mobsters are pulling out everything they have, and I guess hired army mercenaries because these guys descend on ropes. This was probably the hardest level gameplay-wise since enemies were spawning out of doorways, rappelling on the ropes, and sometimes just spawn behind you. I also like how game developers will put their photos or names within a level, and you can see some of the people that helped create this game on this wall. My favorite was Joe Berger. What a cute dog. Tequila makes it to Billy, and oh lord, we're in the Terracotta Warrior room. Daemon, which is the name of the Russian mobster I didn't know until rewatching the footage, is another simple bullet sponge boss fight. I kind of wish they did more with these, or at least have the arena change with the destructible cover or something along those lines.
I don't know what to say.
You missed your plane.
I had to leave you. To keep you and Tico safe.
You should have trusted me.
I loved you. Wasn't that enough? How did you find me?
Your father sent me. Funny, huh?
My father? No.
Oh shit, it's a double cross. Billy is shot by Jerry for some reason, and honestly, I felt bad for Tequila. He doesn't see Billy for 18 years, and then the first moment they have together, she gets killed. Glasses are back on. It's Maverick time.
Forgive me.
Forever.
Tequila chases after Jerry, murdering hundreds more henchmen, and finally gets to him. Jerry admits that Wong ordered the hit on Billy, and I know the narrative isn't the most important thing, but if he wanted her dead, why even care about the leverage the gang had when kidnapping her? I guess we wouldn't have the second act, but oh well. We shoot Jerry 1,000 times, but then I have to retract my statement from just a second ago. I knew Wu wouldn't do us dirty on the plot. The video from the flip phone during Tequila and Wong's first encounter was cut short, and the full video has Daemon explaining that Billy would give information about Wong to the police, including politicians and cops under his payroll, pretty much setting Wong up for a life in prison. Now I understand why he wanted her dead. Tequila smartly uses Jerry's phone to convince Wong he's dead, and we go back to Hong Kong. Back in the HK, Tequila meets with the rival boss, who is reluctant to part ways with Tico because of the leverage.
Then we'll have leverage over him.
Tequila shows the gang boss the text messages with Wong, and again another moment where I laughed out loud at a line, "GK funeral at my estate." The two devise a plan for the exchange, and Tequila is off to save his daughter.
Chop the head off first. Take out Wong, and Tico's yours.
Change the job spot away from his backyard. Find a more populated area. That'll keep Tico safer.
Okay, I got it. My old neighborhood. Gaulo and Singtai. I know every corner of that hole. I'll call you with the exact location.
I'll take it from there.
This was another beautiful visual. It sets up for an epic backdrop and some fun shootouts. We take out even more goons and make it to the exchange just in the nick of time. Oh my god, I freaking love this game.
But you're dead.
You couldn't hold him off for just 1 minute.
And all you had to do was show up on time. It was a simple plan.
Your plan has failed, gentlemen, and I have the prize.
Tequila chases after Wong and Tico, which seemed like there would be a driving sequence in the cars, but alas that didn't happen. I did read they wanted to make a sequel for this game, I guess completing a trilogy of Tequila, which they still could, but it didn't come to fruition just yet. I also read that they might have teamed up with the Wheelman. Oh yeah, one of the trailers in the menu was for a Vin Diesel game called The Wheelman, which looked interesting, where he and Tequila would team up, but sadly Midway went into financial ruin and we never got a buddy cop movie I would have paid money for. Anyways, Tequila makes it to Wong's insane hideout or estate, fights through, you guessed it, more bad guys, fights in an attack helicopter, fights through even more bad guys but this time inside, and finally gets to the final boss fight.
Now this is truly operatic. There you stand, wanting my death. Only our flesh and blood keeping your finger from the trigger, and my heart beating a little longer.
Let her go, old man.
I wish I could, but can I? This is tragic. Families destroyed, clans and empires shaken to rubble.
Got no one to blame but yourself.
Perhaps. We can end it right here, you know. Right now.
Oh, I will.
Not like that. Like civilized beings. Like family. There's been too much blood already. I don't want yours or hers. You take her away. You and Tico leave Hong Kong forever, and all will be forgotten. And forgiven. I'll put this house in order. Sweep the blood from the streets and mend the fences. I've bought my peace before. I'll do it again. But I need you gone. Forever.
Are you actually seriously asking me to make a deal with you?
For your daughter's life, I'd say you have no real choice.
Let her go. You have my word.
And you have mine, for what it's worth.
Pico escapes to somewhere and we battle Wong and the big guy. I also learned literally at this moment I could dodge bullets during these standoffs, which would have helped me immensely throughout the game, and the game does tell you it in the first level, I just didn't read it. Whoopsies. If they were to make a sequel to this game, I'd love more in-depth boss fights. Wong has a sniper rifle, but you can charge up a barrage, mow him down, take cover, and just rinse and repeat. The big guy is a little bit more interesting because you have to keep your distance from him or you'll get your head blown off by his dual shotguns. But after grenading him like 10 times, he falls and it's an easy kill for Wong. Pico and Tequila get reunited and we get a happy ending. Nice.
Oh my God. The paperwork is going to take a year. Here. I'm tired of carrying this thing around for you.
Oh snap, it's James Bond. And wowzers, 120 million in damages, 1,234 people dead by our hand, and we get our badge back? I guess just another day on the Hong Kong police squad. I enjoyed this game a lot because it brought me back to a time where video games didn't have to have the highest graphical fidelity and was more focused on the gameplay and atmosphere. Even though the story was short and a bit rough, I still liked what it had to offer, and honestly, I would take another game if it held true to the Woo direction and engaging gameplay mechanics that made Stranglehold so good. I'd love to hear if you played the game back in the day or your thoughts on it now. Did you even know this game existed? I'm glad I do now. This was a shorter retrospective, but I thought it was needed in between the heavy hitters, so if you enjoyed this video, check out some of my others if you have the time. And as always, hope you're doing well. Talk soon.
Tequila.